Hello and welcome to my new video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lex, and today I am going to be destroying a part of my island. I've never done that before, so this is a bit new to me, but it wasn't making me happy anymore. I'm gonna show you. It's this build. I will link it in the description if you want to see the speed build for it, see it come together, but this is it. It leads down to my secret beach, and I just don't love it anymore, so we're gonna rip it apart and talk about Animal Crossing Burnout. Before we do that, I wanted to say thank you so much to Ragnarok Origin for sponsoring today's video. Ragnarok Origin is the mobile game for the popular MMORPG Ragnarok Online, and we've got some big updates for the game. There is a new job update, Alchemist second class job for Merchant that can be upgraded to Creator, Merchant's third class job. Alchemist can carry a homunculus, which is effectively clever in battle, and utilize potions and flasks to interrupt your enemies and buff party members. A new location called Aldebaran is also opening. It features the historical clock tower of Aldebaran, where you can visit undiscovered dungeons for a new level up and rewards. And another thing to keep an eye on is the X Ragnarok Origin limited time event. This event ends on June 12th, so you have about a week to explore this opportunity. Psy has prepared offline giveaways with community events, so click on the giveaway link in the description to see how to participate. Thank you again to Ragnarok Origin for sponsoring. I feel like we should go ahead and get into this. I got all the way over to the area I want to destroy and then realized that I didn't have some pretty important little things that I need. Like, I prefer to have my storage shed with me for things like this so that I can easily put things away, put furniture items away. It's like what I do when flattening as well. And this is kind of like a miniature flattening operation. I also wanted to have a trash can in case I wanted to throw any flowers away. Spoiler alert, I do end up finding other locations for the flowers instead of getting rid of them, but I got it just in case. It's always good to be prepared. I think I actually accidentally put the trash can back in my storage, like, immediately. But here we are. I am going to have to time travel in the video to get rid of the inclines in this area. I wanted to go ahead and start out by just clearing up some of the furniture. I take it level by level because that's satisfying to me. While we're doing this self-care check, I hope you're taking care of yourself today. I hope you're drinking water. I hope you are paying attention to your mental health and giving yourself the rest and respite that you deserve, because you have earned it, you do deserve it, and you deserve to be prioritized. That said, I'm prioritizing myself by getting rid of all of these things over here. I've been really stuck on this island. This island is Lorien. It is my permanent island, the one that I never restart. I just flatten it each time I finish a theme and keep going. That makes sure that I always have an island where I have a complete catalog, or at least nearly a complete catalog. It just helps me out to have all of these things readily available to myself and to always have, you know, materials and things. But I've been super stuck on it lately. I was really loving the vibe after the November 2.0 update. I had so much fun exploring the new items, and then I just kind of fell off with this island. I was like, I never feel like working on it. I'm kind of out of ideas, I guess. And then I realized that part of the problem is I don't like the way it's set up right now. When I look at my map, I don't like this area in the back. I don't like the way it's connected to the secret beach. I don't think it's cute anymore. I think that the person who inspired it did a much better job with the way that they handled their build, and I don't know. I just decided that it was time to let it go. I keep thinking about this area. It's like a thorn in my side. And if you have followed my channel for a while, you know I never do this. I have never once torn down an area after building it. It's like after I do a speed build, I'm like, that's it. That's done. Never gonna revisit this build again. I'm gonna release the dream address. This build is gonna be in it. I don't revise very much. I did on my original island, Rivendell, before I ever had a YouTube channel, but pretty much since I made Lorien, I haven't really done that. So it was kind of hard to swallow that I actually legitimately did not like this build that I had done. But I'm really glad now that it's gone. I'm really glad that I took the time to do this. I feel like I'm going to have a better time on Lorien now that I have this space open and I can explore different things to do with it. My original idea was to have a neighborhood to the right side between this build and the beach. So maybe I'll just make that neighborhood idea a little bit bigger, give them a bigger space. They're not kind of closed in by these cliffs anymore. anymore. Maybe I'll connect them directly to the secret beach, like their own little private lounge. I don't know yet, but I'm excited to see where it goes because this was a big step for me, and I'm kind of proud of myself for actually allowing myself to do this. It sounds little, it might be silly, like, wow, you are proud of yourself for tearing down an Animal Crossing build, but I am, okay? I'm a stubborn person. I am extremely stubborn about my islands. I build something, it stays up, we're good. Not this time. I'm allowing myself to dislike something and deal with it, and, you know, that's personal growth, that's character growth. This is part of my character arc of my life. Anyway, to loop that cleanly into the discussion about Animal Crossing Burnout, I'm thinking that was actually contributing to the fact that for a while, I haven't been wanting to play Animal Crossing. I feel like that's common in the community these days. I mean, it is without a doubt. You can't really refute the fact that Animal Crossing as a whole is kind of declining. The community is less active than it used to be, and that's fine. It's part of the natural life cycle of any game, and that's totally, you know, cool. I'm glad that so many of you here with me still enjoy the game, because so do I, but even those of us who still play pretty frequently can feel that Animal Crossing burnout. Either you're out of ideas, or you're tired of just playing the game, you don't really have the urge to play, or you just are stuck and don't know where to go from here. And I feel like for me, it was more of the little things in Animal Crossing had started to get really obnoxious for me. Things that I used to look over, like the long loading screens, the difficulty, ordering things from Nook Shopping, how you can only get 5 things per day, just small things like that were starting to become pet peeves of mine. And so it was like things that used to not matter at all when I was obsessed with the game have started to make it not as fun to play for me. And I was like, how can I overcome something like that when it's not like I just don't want to play? Like, every time I watch an Animal Crossing video by other creators, I'm talking Katie on Calicove, Tiger, Console Kato, EJ Plays, every time people like that make a video and I watch it, I'm like, wow, this game is still the best game on earth. And it is, by the way. It's still my favorite game in the whole world. But every time they make videos like that, I see them and I'm like, wow, I want nothing more than to play right now. And even then, when the urge is strong, it's like I log into my island and I just sit there and I'm like, what do I want to do though? It's like I want to play, but I don't want to do any of the things available to us in the game. It's been interesting exploring that with myself, and I debated multiple times making a video for like ideas of how to get over burnout, how to escape it, how to get back into the game, and I realized that the reason why I haven't been able to make that video yet is because I'm still figuring it out myself, you know? I haven't figured out how to get back into Animal Crossing fully, and watching videos, like I said, definitely helps. It makes me want to play, but what is it about being in the game that makes me want to set my Switch back down? I haven't figured it out yet, you know? I'm thinking this is good progress because this is one of my holdups. This build was one of my holdups, so that's my first piece of advice to you. If you are feeling burnout, try to figure out if there's something about your island or about the gameplay that's bothering you, something you could fix, something you could get rid of, something that you could change to make the game more attractive for you. And for me, it was first of all getting rid of this build that was just not doing it for me anymore. Another thing I wanted to discuss about burnout is I feel like when you ask in the community, like, how did you get over burnout? A lot of people will suggest some things you can do in the game, kind of like I just did. I suggested something you can do in Animal Crossing to try to overcome that burnout. But the truth that I think a lot of us don't want to acknowledge is that sometimes the only key to getting over burnout is literally not playing the game, distancing yourself from the game, from gameplay, and sometimes even from the content. I'm not telling you not to watch my videos. Please do. I love that you're here. But I feel like that is the truth. Sometimes you just need a break, and it's like no matter how much you want yourself to want to play the game, you can't force that. And I feel like maybe I should take that to heart. I, for a long time, was only playing when I was filming videos, and Yeah, I feel like maybe that prolonged my burnout because I was still playing, but when I stopped trying to force myself to play the game all day, I was like, wow, I actually kind of want to play Animal Crossing again. And, you know, the turnaround can be different timing. You can suddenly want to play it again pretty quickly after stopping, or maybe you need a few months away from the game. Who knows? I feel like the best approach is just to come to it when you genuinely want to play. It helps me to have a goal in mind. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna tidy up the island today, so then when I log on, I'm not just staring at the screen like, what now? You know, I just went through Isabel's announcements, and for what did I do that? And here we are, you know? In the video right now, I'm going through and getting some more food to eat so I can dig up some more of the trees. I didn't want to throw any of them away because I hate waiting for hardwood trees and cedar trees to grow. I don't know why I specified the types of trees. It's just any tree. I don't like waiting for things to grow. I don't like having to time travel. So I kind of transplanted the trees from this area where they were in this build to in front of my shopping district. For those of you who have been around for a while, you know I kind of set this up in a stream, or not in a stream, I don't think. I can't remember. I set up the shopping district ages ago, and then I didn't decorate it. I didn't follow through with any of my plans for it. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what furniture I want to get for this. That's another pet peeve I have with the game, how difficult it is to acquire items. I was just talking on Twitter the other day with a lot of other players about how item acquisition is probably one of the biggest causes of my burnout. The fact that it takes so long to collect furniture. I am very much a design player. I enjoy, like, you know, interactivity with my villagers, etc. But my favorite thing about Animal Crossing is decorating my island, and the fact that they make it so difficult for you to accumulate things, the limit on Nook shopping, the difficulty acquiring a lot of materials to make, you know, a ton of DIYs, it just really kind of turns me off from the game sometimes. I don't want to do a speed build because that would take 40 million hours of collecting all the furniture I need, but on the flip side, that's all I want to do in Animal Crossing. I just want to decorate my island, so I'm trying to figure out how to navigate that. Obviously, there are treasure islands. Those are islands created by modders, and they can offer all sorts of items to you. A lot of people do giveaways on Twitch and Twitter, and that's always an option, and I'm really grateful for the people who run those, of course. But even that has become tedious, you know, only being able to get 40 items at a time, having to keep go back and back and back, especially if it's a paid treasure island. It's just a whole hassle. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's just because you're lazy, or maybe if you played the game right, that wouldn't be a problem. And to those people, I say, first of all, you don't get to determine how anyone plays the game. Just because you play it the quote-unquote intended way, which I think is debatable anyway, because they added terraforming and design options for a reason. What do you mean the intended way is just to play day by day? That aside, we're not going to get into controversy. That's just how I enjoy playing, and I bought the game for myself. No one bought it for me. It's not like I owe anyone my gameplay. I'm just playing for me, and that's what I like to do. And it's okay to find issue with a game that you enjoy. I love Animal Crossing, but I can still critique it. I can still see what about it could improve in the next, you know, title in the franchise, and I can still have my opinions about it, and they don't have to be positive. I feel like that's another thing that happens. I'm on Twitter all the time. That's why I mention it all the time. That's like my favorite social media. I just love interacting with people on Twitter, and I feel like a lot of people on Twitter get into fights about like time traveling being cheating or going to treasure islands being cheating, and I'm just like, if you're enjoying the game, then you're playing it right, period. That's all. Wow, I feel like that's probably the closest I'll ever get to making a video essay on this channel. It's just me and my thoughts about Burnout and gameplay and how we can all play the way we want to. I hope you're enjoying watching me destroy things. One thing I was thinking about while I was doing this is that sometimes I feel like I enjoy flattening, like the act of destruction, better than I enjoy building things, and it made me think about, you know, the people who have a chronic flattening problem. You know who I'm talking about. We all see people who are like, yeah, just flattened again, like ran out of ideas, and that's totally fine. You know, nobody has to finish their island. Again, it goes back to play how you want to, but I was wondering if for them, it's not that they run out of ideas, but that they just enjoy flattening, because I get the urge all the time to flatten, not because I'm out of ideas, truly, just because I think it's fun. Like, if I could just have a spare island, like if people could send me their islands that they're finished with and they want to flatten and I could just flatten them, that would be my favorite thing to do. I could do that all day. I just think it's so fun. Like, yeah, it can get dull if it's just a bunch of terraforming, you know, just getting rid of all these cliffs and stuff, but I think it's so cool at picking up all the items and digging up all the flowers and stuff. Anyway, that was just my thought of the day. I was like, this flattening thing is so fun. That's one of my favorite things about finishing Lorien, is that I know I get to flatten the island. Here I am heading back to this side of the island. Like I said, I was using the trees and other plants that I dug up to kind of furnish this area, kind of create the beginnings of my shopping district. I elected to put a lot of trees back here just because I was like, okay, my plan for this area is for it to be a little dining zone or a little hangout area behind Able Sisters, and I wanted to put some string lights out here, you know, the plain party lights or whatever that we got in the update. So yeah, I wanted to do that, and I figured I'd give them the backdrop of these trees. So I'll put some plain party lights in front of the trees here, and then eventually when I build the shopping district, I'll add, you know, seating and everything so that this is an enjoyable space, a decorated space. That's why there's like this random custom designed pavilion out here, because I just started it and then I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I never looked at this again? But it's all jokes. I'm gonna finish Lorien eventually. I think actually I really like this build for Lorien. Like, this island version, I think I like better than the previous version of Lorien. You can still visit that Lorien, by the way. If I remember, I'll put the DA in the description if you want to visit my previous build. It was like a colorful, town core island. I tried to use as many colors in the island as possible, getting, you know, a ton of hybrid flowers and stuff, which has helped this island too, because I just have this like stock of hybrids. I didn't keep them all. I threw away so many hybrid flowers. It was tragic. But yeah, that's kind of a little island update for you. That's what's going on here on Lorien. I was just visiting my old islands a few days ago because I wanted to get some screenshots of the maps for those islands, and I forgot how much I enjoyed Lost Falls. I feel like everything goes back to Lost Falls. It was the first island I made on YouTube. It's one of the best island designs I think I've ever created. It's not my personal favorite. My personal favorite was the original Lorien, which is only present as a video tour on my channel now. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was so good. Anyway, I think Lost Falls is so cute. I'm so glad that you can still visit dream addresses even if you reset your data, because visiting Lost Falls is so nostalgic. I just visit the island and I'm like, wow, this is where Lex play began. Anywho, I keep babbling on, but check it out. We're done with this flattening adventure. The area is destroyed, and Red is even visiting like the king he is to see this area completely gone. I hope that you enjoyed the video today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and if you didn't take a break earlier to take care of yourself, I hope you can do it now. I'll see you in the next video, and again, thank you to Ragnarok Origin for sponsoring today's vid. Bye! So did you see that? Bye!